WFNC, News Talk 640 AM, and now on 103.5 HD2.
News Talk 640 WFNC. The face you see on the screen with the words, Paul Wolverton. If you're watching on the podcast on my Facebook page or YouTube channel, Paul is a reporter with Cityview, and you've been doing that for a little bit.
Cityview? So I've been with Cityview for just over 2 years, but I was with the Fayetteville Observer for over 30 years prior to that.
Isn't that time flies, doesn't it?
There's a saying a former editor of mine had. He said that the weeks go slow, but the years go fast.
Well, that's something like Janet Gibson would write. I understand that, of course, from being in this area for quite some time as well. You normally come, on Mondays every other week, some representative, and we had some discussion over the weekend if you were going to come in personally. And I said, "Nah, Paul, you don't have to come in. I forgot you're a reporter like me. We don't care. If there's the accident and it's bad weather, we're going to show up."
Well, I considered whether or not to come in, but the conditions seem not bad. Frankly, the temperature's been above freezing all night, I believe, and it rained last night. I think that washed away a lot of the ice. So, and I drove in, and there was a couple of spots that were a little slushy, but it was fine.
I want to share this with our folks on the podcast right now because if you didn't show up, this was the picture you were going to see. I got you. Greg, you should see this picture. That's a black and white picture. I found the worst picture I could find of. No, actually, it's a pretty good picture.
Raul Rubiera Jr., I guess what's it called? Rubiera Studios downtown? Of course, at the time, he was a photographer at the Fayetteville Observer.
And I tell you what, man,
picture.
You talk about someone that really knew how to take some pictures. That was the man. Mm-hmm. He could make it happen.
Yeah. His dad too.
Yeah,
his dad, Raul Sr., who now is making sculptures and art. Sometimes he's on exhibit at the Arts Council.
I bumped into him somewhere, and I was amazed that that's what he was doing. It was pretty.
Raul Sr.
Yeah. It was.
Do you know how he makes those sculptures?
No.
So. You familiar with virtual reality goggles?
Yeah.
So he has those, and he's got this software, and he goes into his virtual reality studio, and he designs the shape of the sculpture in virtual reality, and then he outputs it to 3D printers, and he prints them out, and puts them together, and paints them, and so on.
Greek, I got you on screen too right now. You knew Raul, didn't you?
Oh yeah, very
Raul
well.
Sr.
Yeah. Where'd you bump into him? What did he? He was all around. He was everywhere.
Yeah, and he helped us plan a couple of events down at Festival Park with the Arts Council. Some Cuban musicians that he knew down in Miami. We had them up, and he's always been into music, into art, into sculpting, in addition to all of his photography work. So,
all right. Well, Paul, you're here because you talk about different things that you write for the Cityview. And you got some topics you want to share.
Yeah, so away from the weather now. So one of the stories I wrote recently, there was a situation back in 2020 where a man with severe mental illness, his wife he'd been having a very bad summer, and his wife finally said, we need to get him committed to the hospital for some care. And the sheriff's office went out there to get him, and it got pretty sideways, and they ended up shooting him to death. And the sheriff's office said he charged at them with a machete. This man is Adrian Roberts, and the sheriff's office said he charged at them with a machete, and they had no choice but to shoot him. But the autopsy shows that he got shot in the back. So
wow.
that kind of runs counter to the official story. So the family sued over his death, and it went all the way to the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals. The sheriff's office and the deputy were trying to say that the deputy had qualified immunity, which basically means that it's very with limited circumstances, you generally are not allowed to proceed with your lawsuit. You can sue, but they can dismiss the lawsuit based on the premise that the officer was immune from being sued for actions he takes under the color of law as a law enforcement officer.
Well, we're seeing that now nationally with
yes,
the ICE
yes,
agents.
yes, we are.
I'm going to stop you for a second, just because time is going to get through, and you've got some great topics here.
Okay, well,
and we're going to give away some Amy Grant tickets
oh, that's
as well.
right, that's right. Well,
So
the quick point is the lawsuit's being allowed to proceed.
That is, despite the fact that he has qualified immunity.
Qualified immunity was denied.
Was denied. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, is that based on the evidence that was presented? Shot in the back?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. This other one right here was pretty interesting. The Vic Benz basketball court fire.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
A couple of girls. Talk about that a little bit and what you found.
Okay. Vic Benz, he is a very prominent social media influencer. One of the things he's famous for is starting a barber shop in a prison in California. He grew up in Hope Mills, son of a Army veteran, and he gave back to the community. The old he grew up playing basketball at the basketball court at the Hope Mills Park, and it, I guess, needed some repair and upgrade. So he came down and made donations, and they redid the basketball court. And then several weeks ago, somebody set it on fire. The basketball court, it looks like the surface of the basketball court was not like I grew up with concrete basketball courts.
Yeah, no,
this
was like a tartan track kind of thing. It was like
some kind of
rubber.
plastic. It looked, yeah, and it burns. And someone set it on fire, and you probably saw photos online of the damage and the flames. And so there was an update to the town commission the other day, this past Tuesday. Basically, they are proceeding with efforts to get that repaired, and the question is, how much is it going to cost? So far, it's going to be at least $12,000. It sounds like it could be more to fix it. And I think the total cost of doing the basketball court in the first place was like $56,000. But and they've arrested a teenager, a 16-year-old girl, and she's accused of setting the fire. I don't know if they know why, but they're going to fix it.
Well, and I don't know if it was Junior Smith or somebody redid E. Smith's.
Dennis Smith Jr. Maybe
It was Dennis Smith. Yeah.
You're telling me something I don't know.
Well, the main thing is that similar type scenario.
Oh, yeah,
it's
nice. Yeah. Dennis Smith Jr. He's a professional basketball player. Played for the Dallas Mavericks and other teams over the years.
Yeah.
And he's done a lot for his community too.
All right, there's another one on here that we just talked with the mayor about, the parking lot. Is your neighborhood streets going to become a parking lot? What's that about?
Yeah. So Rachel Hyman McCader did that story. That's pretty interesting. So, all around town, you might notice that there's like a white stripe painted maybe 10 feet off the curb on a lot of residential streets. And people call those bike lanes. And they're technically multi-use lanes, which means they're allowed to be used for parking or cycling or walking. Like Sharon Moore, my girlfriend, she lives in the Haymont area, and she was having a problem with speeding, and she was complaining. And so they painted some multi-use lanes on the theory that they would narrow the road a little bit and people would slow down. It worked for a little while. But so now there's a proposal to say that if you don't want people to park in the multi-use lane in front of the homes in your neighborhood, they're thinking about creating a process by which you can make that happen. And so there's going to be a public hearing. It was going to be tonight. Now it's on the February 23rd for the public to tell the city council whether it's a good idea or a bad idea that they can turn these lanes in front of their homes into no parking zones. And I gathered that some people were getting riled up because they'd see people, they think, oh, it's a bike lane, not realizing it's a multi-use lane, and then they'd see people park there and they would complain about it. But I think multi-use, it seems you got to decide, is it working as a multi-use lane or does it need to be no parking?
Well, bicyclists have the same right to the road.
Yeah.
No, same right to the road as motorists.
And every neighborhood would have their own rules?
Yeah.
Like the neighborhood, I think like 70% of the people on the street, we got the criteria here, 75% signature threshold required. And if I guess you get that approved, if you get that, then then they could make it a no parking zone on that street.
Well, we're going to have to watch that one because if you think about it, Is it just this one block, or is it the whole neighborhood, or is it the whole subdivision, or just this block?
That's
Like
it's all
it
apply by block from intersection to intersection.
Wow, that now you talk about.
And you got some streets are long.
Wait a minute. I mean, wait a minute. You talk about something that could be confusing.
Block by block.
Yeah, block by block would be confusing.
How do you? Yeah, I mean, we don't. In the residential neighborhoods in Fayetteville, they don't have traditional city blocks. Sometimes there could be a half a mile between intersection to intersection.
All right, we got time for one more from you, and I'm going to let you pick. And you got two good ones here. Cumberland County okays the police enforcement of no camping ordinance on county property, which we kind of know about as well. And then the Cumberland County commissioners have selected an architect for downtown. Which one do you want to give us?
Well, we can go with the camping ordinance. That seems to be a lot of people. Social media got a lot of response on that. So there's been a no camping ordinance in the city and in the county since 2022. You all may remember that we had lots of people camping around town. The homeless people, they had no place to stay. They started building little tent villages, and the city and the county passed ordinances regarding that. Well, the county's ordinance ran into a bit of a hiccup, I guess you could say, in that. There's a lot of county property within the city limit, and the county ordinance did not specifically say the Fayetteville Police Department is authorized to enforce it. And back during the Dickens holiday in November, I guess they got complaints about the homeless people at the county library, which is county property, and apparently the police department, when they wanted to enforce the ordinance, had to call the sheriff to send deputies to actually make it happen. So the county commissioners just amended the ordinance to say that police officers can enforce it too. And I mean, I'm downtown a lot, and it seems to me this year we've seen some growth in the number of homeless people just hanging out by the library. They've got no place to go. One of the guys is in a wheelchair. He's got one leg. And
well, our community is not the only one that faces this, and we've got the day center, that's available.
But you
downtown.
can't stay overnight.
No, you can't.
The Salvation Army's closed. They're trying to make that happen.
Well,
So here's the thing.
Salvation Army is back.
When did they sign the contract?
I don't know, but I just talked to Kirk Deviere this morning, and he said that came online just in time for this.
Okay, that's very new.
So that's new. Then you have Manor Church. That's operating a few. So our community is not the only one that's dealing with this, and it is a touchy subject. How much can you do? I know one thing: if you are homeless in Fayetteville, you will not go hungry because there's plenty of places to eat. You agree?
Yeah.
You agree? There's plenty of places to eat.
There's plenty of places offering food. Yeah, I think getting to the food is a challenge, perhaps.
All right, look, Paul, we appreciate you coming in. You always, do great work writing with Cityview, and give you a chance to give the spiel. Go ahead.
Learn about these stories at cityviewNC.com, cityviewNC.com, and you can sign up for a free email newsletter. It comes in your inbox 6 days a week with the latest news.
And how's the new editor working out?
It's doing real well. Yeah, you had him in, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a ball. He was a good guy. He's tall, man.
He's very tall, and
his head in here.
He's got the duck to come in the door.
Yeah. All right, Paul Wolverton with Cityview. You hear someone from Cityview is here every other week, and then also
the editor is Matt Haney, by the way.
Yeah, Matt, great guy. And just one last thing. How's the sweet tea going?
We had to cancel our shows this weekend because of the weather, and also Thursday and Friday, one of the lead cast members got sick. So
my gosh!
So we're coming back this coming Thursday. I think we're going to decide whether we're going to extend to another weekend since we lost the first weekend. So hey, we got a few more rehearsals in.
What was it Sensibility?
Sense and Sensibility. Jane Austen, Sense and Sensibility. SweetTeaShakespeare.com for times and tickets.
Well, Rick, we always like to have them come in. And perform, and we got to do it really when we can give them like an hour or so, or at least two segments, because once they start getting into the scenes, man, it's like it's really pretty.
And we need to bring the musicians in too, play some songs.
Absolutely, we'll do it. All right, Paul, we're going to give you the boot. Just like that. But as a matter of fact, we're going to give you the boot by putting your black and white picture on the screen.
There you go. A very nice black and white picture.
Yeah, it is. One of the best black and white pictures I've seen in a long time.
One of the best pictures I've ever had from Raul Rubiera Jr.
All right. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC. We've got CBS local news right now. What do we do?
I'll tell you what, let's give away some Amy Grant tickets.
Oh, that's right.
Amy Grant is playing the Crown Theater, part of the community concerts program, on February 20th. Amy Grant, she had a couple of pop hits back in the 80s, made most of her bones as a Christian artist. She's won like 6 Grammys. And the community concert's been around. Paul, how long has the community concert's been around? 80, 90 years?
A very long time. That's a
Long
Bill
time.
Kirby question,
Yeah,
actually. But
long
Bill
time.
Kirby's been the leader of community concerts for a while.
February 20th. You go to crowncomplexnc.com so you can get tickets, and we got a pair for you right now if you're caller 864-6400, and we'll hook you up with those Amy Grant tickets right now.
All right. I turn my microphone back on. So the phones are going to start ringing off the hook for the Amy Grant tickets. We're going to do local news at this point?
Absolutely.